Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. We have an LCX exchange video for you guys today. This is based on the LCX token, obviously, and it comes off the back really of a video that we did about a month ago in relation to why we should be looking or being excited about exchange related tokens. This puts in the bracket the likes of BNB with Binance, KCS with Qcoin, etc. So there's a multitude of reasons why these are exciting kind of tokens to hold, and LCX is no different really. We'll go into a bit more of a detail about LCX's recent moves, as well as the chart analysis, of course, on top of that. We try and keep these videos short and sweet as well, because there's so many to go through. I'm back in the swing of videos now, so I want to try and get at least 4 or 5 out each day. That is the goal, that's the mission. So I'm going to try and keep these to around 10 to 15 minutes. So let's go straight into this for sure. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And welcome to the channel if you are new. So let's first of all go straight into the market cap of LCX. You can see down here, the diluted market cap, 265 million, which is actually quite conservative, to be honest, in my opinion. It does mean in my head that there's a lot of room of growth there, especially the total supply of 950 million, to the point really that in the previous all-time high, you can see on this element here, all the way back up at 45, I think it was 48.7 cents this was recorded. We're at 28 cents already, guys, and we haven't even seen the beginning, in my opinion, of the proper cycles yet. So what is going on with this? Well, as I said in that previous video, exchanges are of course exactly where people come to buy crypto. Other than of course dexes and swap platforms, exchanges are generally the place for most people to go. So you've got an influx of two kind of audiences here. You've got people that are already in the space and have cottoned onto LCX recently, and also the people that are new to the crypto space will be looking for new exchanges, and especially if they want to have reductions on fees, which makes that secondary point. This is the utility of the token, ultimately, really, of the exchange, amongst other reasonings behind that, launch pad aspects, etc., within these exchange remits. The LCX token, like BNB, KCS, all the other exchange tokens like BTR token, and so on and so forth, they are always sometimes used for counteracting fees within the exchanges. So if you're a regular trader or trading substantial amounts of money, these can be quite significant reductions, which is why we see an increase in them. So you're going to get a lot of excitement around these. And LCX is one of those platforms. It's not necessarily new. It's been around for a number of years. It changed its token name in the last couple of years as well. And as I said, we're starting to see some really significant patterns for LCX, in my opinion. So I've been holding LCX at various different price points. I was buying quite a lot around this 5 or 6 cent mark as well, and we're seeing some good gains. I did a sell-off the other day when we got to around 28-29 cents. We obviously had a reduction all the way back down to 23 and now back up to 28. I haven't taken any reaction into intake back at those lower levels to jump back in. I'm just now interested to see if we start hitting these higher regions towards that 40 cent mark again. We'll go into the chart detail in a bit for sure, but that was a bit of a brief overview really of where LCX has been and where it currently is right now, and why we're so interested in this particular area around exchange tokens. So if you haven't watched that video before, go and check it out after this one. I'll leave a link to it at the end of this update video. But for me, in my mind, there is a long way to go for sure. Another point here is there's not huge amounts of updates from LCX as an exchange in general, but on March the 13th, so in a couple of days time, there is an AMA. I definitely recommend, if you are new to the space or looking for those new exchange tokens, ones that are kind of having a lot of opportunity in the near future for gains, this is definitely one to listen into. I think we're going to be covering a lot of different topics around the exchange and of course the industry in general, and of course the market in general too, which we're seeing substantial moves, particularly in Bitcoin and Ethereum and a few of the memes, etc. And I do think this will filter down even more so to all the other altcoins, including exchange tokens as well, in these coming weeks and months, and particularly towards the end of the year as well. So you can see there's a multitude of reasons why LCX is a very good exchange, to be honest. Of course, it's regulated, I think, via Liechtenstein, if I remember correctly. So it's regulated in that element for sure for usability. So that's going to be a lot of tick in the box for people who are looking for trustworthy or confidence-related exchanges to trade with their tokens. for buying and selling. And of course this bit here, up to 50% reduction in trading fees. So a lot of exchanges charge, depending on obviously how much you're trading, the monetary value, you will get reductions in those fees too. So that's really exciting. And I would mention, looping that back to that point, that this is why I think you're going to get two prongs to the increase in exchange token usability. Those that are looking for fee reductions, and those that are, as an investor like I am, I don't really use the LCX exchange, to be honest. I'm just interested in the fact that this could be a heavily used utility token, so that could influx the price point for sure. And on that point of price, let's just jump straight into the chart for LCX as well, so we can get a bit more of an indication as where we may be going with this. So we've seen this upscaled approach. The last video we did, where we showcased those phenomenal increase in prices, over 700% increase in price. Since then, in fact, it actually went higher in general, all the way up to its previous high point here, which we saw a few weeks back. I'm just going to move that up slightly, or at least get rid of that drawing all over the place now. Start again. Yes, so we did fly up towards, I think it was this market here on the 8th of February, up to the high of 34.9 cents. Which took this residual value up quite nicely, to be honest. And in fact, I'm just going to, now it's fixed, take it from that low point that we saw back here in November all the way up there, 783%. That's huge. We've had since then a reduction or a correction for the LCX token. That's what I mentioned just a minute ago on CoinMarketCap, where it reduced itself back to around 23 cents. It did upscale itself back towards the 30 in the last couple of days, and now we're seeing a slight stability check again. So on the performance indicators on the right hand side here, we can see that 6 month 700% that we talked about previously is diminishing. That was kind of expected, because there has to be a ceiling at some point, but that is albeit reducing. It has seen the month, and I do anticipate the week to probably drill down a bit further as well, just to show that stability factor. And this is where we start getting some really interesting thoughts going. So we've got the long-term fib levels here and the mid-term as well. You can see, if I just remove that we are very much balancing ourselves around this mid-term here, 27 cents. We've done some tests of these higher regions, and it hasn't done massively well just yet. I do think that we will break through that eventually at some point in the coming months for sure. But to reiterate, if we do that and we maybe start testing the longer term patterns, could we see a 60-cent LCX token? Could we even see higher than that? Some people shouting out for that dollar, which does actually reflect quite nicely with some of the lower region fib levels that we saw on the long term here. That does take it up to around 96, 97 cents. So I have drawn in there the fact that from the current price point, we could potentially be seeing between 100 and 250% gains from the current price point in the bull runs to come over this year and maybe into next year as well. So plenty of opportunity in my opinion. But at the moment, in the short run, we've got two identifiable positions here that we could get to. The RSIs, which are the relative strength indexes, are very middle ground right now, which would indicate they could literally go either way. And that sounds a bit, common sense. It is factual. That's how it works. So in my mind, when I'm DCAing, I'm thinking, well, there's some stability here. It's a good opportunity if I'm new to LCX to jump in, but I'm not going to throw all my money in because we may have the possibility of it coming down lower. We do always retest these lower regions. In fact, some of these previous ones back in 2021 was the last time we were floating around these positions quite regularly. So there is definitely opportunity in the fact that we could either upscale ourselves to retest the 32 cent mark, or indeed back up to that 34 or so that we saw on the 8th of February, or we might start retesting these lower regions at 20 cents and maybe even potentially the 20 towards that 17 cent mark back down here. So for me personally, I've always got these opportunities to buy when we're stable, but also with the indication patterns that we might trickle down. It could literally be like we saw back here on the 18th of February, a quick shoot down and then a retracement back up again, as that momentum fluctuates in that period of time. So we have to be aware that we might get some sharp flash sales in these moments of time as well. But with the exchange tokens, it does tend to be slightly different to some of the other assets that do that kind of thing, just purely from the fact that people just literally hold these long term and short term anyway for those fee reductions. It'd be interesting to know, or if I can find some research on the percentage allocation of who's holding them for fees and who's holding them for the investment perspective. I'm not sure how I'll get that data, but it's definitely something that you will see in the charts with the exchange related tokens specifically, that you don't always see those huge flash sales that you do on other assets. It's usually more stable than that. So that's another positive aspect to see as a holder of the LCX token. But yes, the other point about DCAing is the fact that yes, I'm buying at these stable regions. I'm selling at some of these higher regions where I've made profit from the ones I've been buying at these lower areas. The fact of the matter is with this is I've still got a load in the game. So if we do accelerate, we're in a win-win situation where we're taking some profit and there's opportunity for extra gains as well as the fact that we keep an eye on the fact that we've done a bit of sell-off. Could there be opportunities to buy back in? These are always things in my mind constantly. I do have limit orders on most of my assets. If you'd like a video on setting limit orders or how this works, let me know. There's loads of them out there for sure, but if you want me to do one, just let me know. It's not a problem at all. I'll give you a short, like 5 to 10 minute video on that as well. So that kind of wraps up LCX at the moment, where we think we might see LCX getting towards the end of the year. Let us know what you think in the comments below, because me personally, I'm quite conservative, always am. And I do think that we should at least hit those 50-60 cent marks, but there are a lot of people shouting out that LCX could be like $2 or $3, and I'm not sure about that. I mean, that market cap is very good, or the diluted one is for sure, but will it push out the fact that, will there be enough people coming in using the exchange? It really just comes down to communication and marketing, in my opinion, which is why I'm interested in AMA in a couple of days' time, because this can start the stepping stone approach of why people need to be more and more interested in the exchange related tokens. Let us know what you think in the comments below. That wraps up this quick fire video of LCX. We'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye bye.